I promised you to start with a definition. What is open innovation? Well, we have a definition. Let's try it, right? It's the use of inflows and outflows of knowledge. Now, let me stop there. Maybe it might be a little bit a problem for people working in IP, but knowledge is much broader than technological knowledge. If we are talking here about knowledge, it might be technological knowledge, but it might also be design. It might be customer intimacy, market intelligence. It might be quite different things. So we are much broader than just technology. We're talking about inflows of knowledge to accelerate the internal innovation of companies. Now that's an important thing. You get technologies because, like Konji mentioned already, the smartest people are working outside there. Not in your company, even when you're a big company like GE or Philips or whatever. So because of the speed of technology, because of the cost of technology, you have to tap into these external sources of technology and sources of knowledge. And you do that to accelerate your innovation. So you don't do it to get rid of it. It's not an outsourcing process. Watch out, right? Second thing, and maybe a little bit more difficult to understand, is why you also have outflows of knowledge. Why companies deliberately put technology on the market, or sell technology, or license technology, set up spin-offs and so on. Well, it's not that difficult if you know that 85% of all patents in big companies like Philips and so on are never used, neither for a new product development or some, let's say, defending a technological field. So there's a lot of technology which is not used, which is there unused on the shelf in big companies. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. Let's just go back into the past on closed innovation. What was typical for closed innovation? If you have an innovation funnel going from an idea, from scientific ideas, towards a new product in the market, from the left to the right, then closed innovation was mainly done in the company itself. Research, development, and the launch was mainly done in the company. Now, I don't have the time, and if you want to have a very beautiful reading what is all going on in the world, please have a look at Henry Chesbrough's book of 2003, Open Innovation, which was his seminal book. The world is really changing. And I hope that my colleagues here from the private sector will confirm that the world has been changing drastically. Think about human capital. Think about knowledge workers. They become mobile. Think about IP. IP is no longer in the hands only of big companies. It's there at universities, it's there at very small companies. And very small companies nowadays can start up with smart people, smart money, so with venture capital money. So the world has been changing drastically, and this has an impact on how companies can make money. So how do they nowadays in an open innovation era start with open innovation? Again, we have the funnel. The funnel is still there. We still have to develop new ideas. We have to do research, and finally we launch some products on the market. But now there's a big difference. You're tapping into external knowledge sources. So completely on the beginning of the funnel, you can source research input from universities, from research labs, and so on. But there is also an additional advantage. If you look at this picture, oops, what I didn't know. Okay. That's the right button, okay. You tap into the external sources, but you also have the advantage that over the funnel, if you missed here some technological developments, you still have the possibility to insource technology later in their development. So you have some kind of flexibility. You can work here with universities, do some external research projects, or later on you can work on venture investments, technology in licensing, and very much on the end here, you have the technology acquisition, so you still can acquire small ventures that are ready to go to the market. The technology here is quite, technology here is at the front side is very uncertain. Here it's proof technology. It's ready to go to the market. It will be very, very expensive, but the uncertainty is low. Here the uncertainty is pretty high. The expenses will be pretty low. And companies make their choice. Companies make a portfolio on that. But this is only what we call inbound open innovation. So getting technology, getting knowledge from the outside into the company. There is also something like this 85% patents we have over there, this 85% which is never used. And so we have the licensing agreements, the out licensing of technology you're not using, or the spin-offs which you can set up in your company. Now I have to move on because I want to focus on things that have never been in the literature so far. So why business models are so hard to manage and in this area? And let's have a look what open innovation is doing. Here you have your current market. That's your business model. That's how you bring a product to the, that's how you bring technology or new ideas to the market. Many of these ideas don't fit in your business model. So you're going to spin off to a company or in a company which has a different business model, or you're going to license technology which is another market and has another business model. So the business model is crucial in open innovation because the business model is going to determine what goes in and what goes out. So business model is crucial, very crucial. And then one step ahead is, what is open innovation now? Because you might have heard about open science, user innovation, collaborative innovation, open source, and all these other words. And it sounds like it's all the same. Well, let me give you that as a short lesson, a short idea what open innovation really is. And it's all about business models, right? Open innovation requires a business model. That means we are working in an organization which wants to sustain itself. It can be profitability for a company, can be, for instance, sustainability for a public organization or for an organization. Let's have a look. What is this business model doing? It determines how we create value, right? What to get from the outside. So the business model determines what we get from the outside and what we want to monetize by external pathways to the market. So what we want to get rid of it. But it's also a question of how to capture value. Because if you only create value and you can make no money on it, or you can't make it sustainable, think about all these large projects like free Wi-Fi in large cities. It all went down. We have a lot of these public initiatives that just went bankrupt, right? So we have to make money, we have to keep it sustainable. And then you see that how to capture value, how to make money out of it will determine if you're going to go to the market with a product, so you make the product yourself, or you're going to sell your technology, which another company going to produce into, going to manufacture in a product, right? So that's really important to make a deliberate choice there. Sharing IP and sharing profits, that's an issue also in open innovation because you collaborate with other partners, you're going to have to share IP one way or another. It sounds very crazy. Why is sharing IP? IP is something you own, right? It's intellectual property. You own it, rights, right? So why sharing it? And why sharing profits? Well, that's one of the things we have to learn in open innovation. If you collaborate, you bring in value. Both partners, 3 partners, 4 partners bring in value. And if your partners bring in value, you're going to have to share the pie. There's no way to get everything. That's why we have to think about equitability and trust. Now, how many managers know something about trust? It's a change in mentality. And we also have to determine what we get for free and what we would like to have, what kind of products we would like to pay for. And that's a very important thing that we realize these things. Open innovation is not about getting things for free. It might be for free, but you always need a business model to create value and to capture value, so part of that value you created. So what is open innovation? It's about in- and outsourcing, it's about collaboration, but never forget it's also about value creation and value capturing. And for instance, in open source, you will not find that. As soon as you're thinking as a company about using open source in open innovation, then it becomes really open innovation because you have value creation and value capturing. So you need a business perspective. Now let's move on with IP. What to do if others own your IP, which you really need and which is really valuable for you? You have many large companies which really want technology, which really want IP, which is owned by small